Hello and welcome on in. In this series of videos, I will be discussing how to get a HDMI camera into the Moblin app running on an iPhone. Due to the limitations on the iPhone, the Moblin app is unable to detect a video source via the USB UVC webcam. However, when using the Moblin app on an iPad, it is able to detect a video source via the USB UVC. There are a few things to consider before following these setups. One thing to consider is using HDMI cameras that do not natively live stream themselves. These setups are all based on using local Wi-Fi and not bringing in a video source over the internet, and the costs of the extra equipment needed for some of these setups. I have split up the methods of sending a HDMI camera into the Moblin app running on an iPhone into 4 main sections. The first section is using an Android smartphone. The second section is using an iPad. The third section is using a video encoder. And the fourth section is using another iPhone. So the first method I want to discuss is using an Android-based smartphone, as well as using a Ugreen HDMI capture device with a USB Type-C plug. We will also be utilizing a free app called Lifestreamer, which is Android-based only. Okay, let's start off by making sure we have both the iPhone running the Moblin app as well as the Android smartphone be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Now we will create an SRT server within the Moblin app so that it is able to receive an SRT stream coming in from the Lifestreamer app from the Android smartphone. So here is the interface of the Moblin app running on the iPhone. Let's go into the cogwheel. Let's scroll down to ingests. Let's go into SRT-LA. Let's now scroll down to create a new stream specific for the Lifestreamer app. So we'll just create, we'll click on my stream. We'll now click on the name. Done. We can change the stream ID. Simple. We go back, we'll then scroll up and click enable. Now we will scroll down, select the Lifestreamer stream and check the top SRT address that we'll be needing to use in order to put it into the Lifestreamer app. Okay, we also now have to create a scene specific to the new SRT server that we've also created. Cogwheel, scenes, create. Now we will select the SRT server that we've created for Lifestreamer and done. Now we will open up the Lifestreamer app on the Android smartphone and configure the output stream to the SRT address that we have created within the Moblin app. 3 dots on the very top left-hand corner. Go into settings. We will then make sure that we have selected the encoder as H.265 because we are pushing out an SRT stream. Scroll down, 1080p 30. Scroll down until we hit SRT server, and then we will now change the server address to, we'll also now change the port, and we will also now change the stream ID. And now if we go back out, and now we will start the live stream from the Lifestreamer app on the Android smartphone. and the Moblin app is able to receive the incoming video feed. We will now gather the equipment in order to start the HDMI capture into the Android smartphone device. Okay, in front of me, we have the Samsung S20 FE Android smartphone. We have a Sony A6000. We also have a micro HDMI to full-size HDMI cable. And we also have the Ugreen HDMI capture device. And now we'll connect everything all together. Start off with the HDMI cable into the camera itself. Now we'll plug in the HDMI into the HDMI capture device. And now we will plug in the USB Type-C cable into the Android smartphone. Now a pop-up will display. We'll select Lifestreamer just once. And now you can see we have a camera feed going into the Android device. So we will now back out, scroll down. We'll now select USB SRC. Now, if we click Start Live on the Android smartphone, it will then be picked up on the Moblin app running on the iPhone. One of the downsides for this configuration is that unfortunately this capture device is unable to provide any input power to the Android smartphone. So over time, the battery will decrease on the smartphone unit itself. But if we were to use this particular adapter here, which is essentially a on-the-go adapter, USB Type-C, full-size USB Type-A, and a USB Type-C port to allow for power delivery up to 100 watts. So we will connect the adapter to the HDMI capture device from Ugreen. We'll now also connect the HDMI cable. And now we will connect the adapter to the Android smartphone. And now we can connect a power delivery cable. And now the Android smartphone is receiving charge while at the same time also providing a HDMI input capture from the camera. And if we were to now initiate the SRT stream from the Lifestreamer app, the iPhone running Moblin will be able to detect that as well. Now, one issue that I encountered with this particular setup is the first time I connected the Ugreen HDMI capture device into the smartphone, we are getting very skipped frames on the Android device itself. Now that is due to the wrong video setting within the Lifestreamer app. So within the configure USB source options, we will now need to click on the three dots here, select video for. So now we will select the three dots here, select video format, and we'll change the frame rate to 30 frames per second. Click OK. And now we're back to smooth video again. I want to also show we can use a different adapter as well. This here is the J5create video capture USB hub, which has a USB Type-C cable. It has an input for USB power delivery. It has two USB Type-A ports, as well as a HDMI input capture and a HDMI output. But for now, we are utilizing this adapter to provide power in as well as HDMI capture. So let's get that prepared. We will now connect the HDMI into the capture port. We will now connect the hub into the Android smartphone. And we'll go through the process. Lifestreamer just once. Make sure we have the correct video format settings, MJPEG 1080p 30. And now we will select USB SRC. And now we have a picture coming into the Android device. We'll now also connect the power delivery cable. And now the Android device is receiving charge as well. We will now initiate the SRT stream. And now you can see a HDMI camera being fed into the Moblin app using Lifestreamer on an Android smartphone. Okay, and now we'll be testing out the Accsoon M1. This here is a device that you can mount a smartphone to, as well as attach a MPF battery for sustained charging on the Android smartphone. So I'll show you my method of how to connect everything together, because there is a particular issue, and I'll show that later on in the video. So we will attach the HDMI cable here. We will also attach the smartphone to the clamp. We will now attach the other end of the HDMI to the camera. Now we will connect the USB-C cable coming from the Accsoon M1 into the smartphone. We'll select Lifestreamer. And now, as is, with no MPF battery attached, we can start the live stream from the Android phone to the Moblin app. And as you can see, it's been broadcast to the Moblin app. Now let's stop the stream. Okay, now if we wanted to add the battery, these are the steps that we need to do in order to achieve a proper connection. So we need to go back out into USB settings. We need to now eject the Accsoon M1. We will now add the battery. Okay, done. And now we go into USB SRC, push the stream, and we have connection and pushing an SRT stream to the Moblin app as well. Now I'll show you a different method which does cause a bit of a issue with the incoming HDMI video feed into the app itself. So before I connected everything without the battery, now I will attach the battery first. Attach the smartphone. And now connect the USB-C cable. And as you can see, there is a discoloration on the actual camera feed itself. And we can even, if we wanted to, start the SRT live stream push to the Moblin app, and it would also display the color shift on the SRT stream. So at least with this particular unit, the method is to attach the Accsoon M1 first, eject, then add the battery, and then everything will be fine. So now one of the benefits of using the Accsoon M1 device is the ability to now mount it directly to the camera. So here we have a cold shoe adapter in which we can now mount directly onto the mirrorless camera's hot shoe. And now if we were to click start live, SRT push, we now have the ability to have everything all attached to the one camera system itself. And that brings us to the end of section 1 of using Android smartphones to send a HDMI camera into the Moblin app. I will be making more separate videos in regards to the different sections of using an iPad, using a video encoder, as well as using another iPhone to send a HDMI camera feed into the Moblin app.